Well, I made it to a lower lake that's below the alpine lake I want to fish. And it's about 9:45, so I'm right on track. When you're fishing these lakes in the fall, you have these nice cool mornings and you won't have a lot of fish action. In fact, this lake here is typically bubbling with little brook trout hits on the surface, and I haven't seen much of anything. So I'm hoping around noon, when the temps get a little higher, they'll start trolling the banks, and at least on the upper lake. But right now they're just kind of bedded down, but once the temps start kicking up, you'll start seeing a lot more fish action. So I have still got quite a hike ahead of me, but probably by the time I get set up is when we'll be entering into those warm temperatures. Well, I still have about 200 meters to go until I hit the lake. And I gotta be honest, I'm smoked. I might have overdone it this week. I don't know. Maybe didn't hydrate very well yesterday, but I'm real close, but I'm just gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna set up my fly rod. Today I'm planning on just keeping a dry fly rod locked and loaded, ready to go for any trollers. And then if that doesn't work, I'll try to throw some subsurface stuff, but I'm gonna at least set up the dry fly rod for now, and hopefully I catch some trollers early on and get them to take. But what ends up happening, so you really have a short window when it comes to alpine lakes because of the snowfall and the elevation and such. The thing about it is this lake, this particular lake, it is all about timing. And I've been up here twice so far this year, and both times my timing was off. I went in the spring when I thought it was ice off, and there was just slush all over the lake, and it was not fishable, and the shoreline was still choked out with ice. And you got to be real careful that you don't break through that and fall in and all that jazz. So I came up in the summertime, and when I ended up coming up in the summer, they were spawning. There was like a late spawn, and a lot of people think that these fish don't spawn because they might not have like a river inlet to the lake or a small stream inlet to the lake, but that's actually not true. They will try to spawn on the shorelines. And so I found plenty of fish, but I had a big buck that was just kind of spending all his time chasing off the smaller males to try to assert dominance. And then you had a female that was just hovering over this bed, they're not gonna take. You don't want to fish to spawning fish anyway, but they're not interested in eating at that point. You're not gonna get them to take anything. And I actually walked away empty-handed that second time. So now I'm in the fall. We're into fall. You can see the leaves are changing. So I'm hoping, and today's going to be nice and sunny. I'm hoping, and just to back up too, in the summertime when it's really hot, they won't troll the shoreline as much because they want to stay out of that warm water, and then they'll cruise down into the depths of the lake, and that's where they'll hang out. And so it becomes more difficult to fish for them if you don't have a float tube or you don't have a raft or something like that. So this go around, I'm hoping that the temps have been cool enough to where they're back to trolling the shoreline, because the shoreline's still nice and cool. They're looking to, fatten up for the winter, and I'm hoping for a good day. Got my fingers crossed, and we'll see what happens. But it is perfect weather conditions so far. Just a light breeze is all there is. If it can hold out like this, I'm thinking in probably about an hour, you know, some bug life's going to start cooking off. Hopefully some grasshoppers, maybe some terrestrials of some kind, some ants, some beetles, and maybe I get lucky and grab a couple of these guys. So we'll see. Oh, I gotta reach over here and turn the whole thing off. Oh, this sucks. All right. All right, I'm all rigged up. I'm just gonna get this last 200 feet in elevation out of the way. And then hopefully it's warm enough to where I can catch some trollers. One thing, I won't have a big window to fish today because in the summertime you can stay till late. You know, you're fishing till 8 o'clock at night and it's still light outside. This won't be the case. So it's going to be a real quick trip, and I'm hopefully just going to stay on the move the entire time and just hunt. Because that technique actually worked really well for me the last alpine lake I went to. Wow, what a difference a couple months makes. There's a couple of them right in there. This is a tough spot though. This is the little holding pond, or the spillover pond from the lake. Looks like there's two nice ones in there though. Might be worth getting a cast to them if I can get down to the shoreline. I couldn't get down to where those fish were holding because it's just choked out by spruce bushes all along the bank. So I'm just moving on to the main lake unless I see something, you know, pretty obvious and easy to cast to in this spillover pond. I'm gonna just push to the main lake. So even though I can walk all the way around the lake, I'm starting on this side of the lake here because this is the wind is blowing up towards this shoreline. So what'll happen is you'll have ants and terrestrials on the water, and they'll blow them up towards this shoreline, and they'll have a bunch of food right in here, and this is where the fish will tend to come and take a look. So the inland wind is going to bring that terrestrial food up here. See, I can already see ants and stuff. So what I'm hoping is that the fish will come over here because this is where the biggest concentration of food is. But I've been wrong before. So this lake has pretty good sized fish in it. So what I'm doing is, they're real spooky. They've got a lot of anxiety, so they'll actually travel this drop off. If you can see where the water changes, it's kind of a light brown here, kind of a turquoise green there, and then a deep blue right there. That's the drop off. So they'll hang around those drop offs. They'll come up here in the shallows, feed a little bit, but they'll stay super close to that drop off to avoid any kind of predators. So what I'm doing is I'm just searching this shoreline, looking for something to kind of poke its head up here and start moving, and then I'll cast to it. All right, so I am seeing a lot of food on the water, but no fish. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way around, and if you can see this little reentrant kind of coming off this hill here, that would be the runoff drainage or the inlet to the lake. So I'm going to attack that next and just take a look at over there, and then I'll work my way back around to the outlet. But the wind's kind of changed, so I'm wondering if maybe I don't see some more fish back in here. So we will soon see, but the search continues. So you can see with that inshore wind how much bug life it'll send in here. So I'm over here at the inlet and I see several trollers, and I mean several. So we're just gonna see if we can't make this work real quick. Several good ones too. Here comes one to look. One's coming up. Holy cow. Okay, I'm gonna have to bomb it again. Wow, there are some good fish out here. Okay, they definitely don't want this. I put it right. Here's a guy. This looks like he's traveling this way. Let's see if he'll come up for it. Here he comes. He's looking, he's looking. He says no. He says no. I got a big juicy hopper. We're gonna find out real quick if these fish are hungry. I'm gonna throw it right in the middle of them. Boom. Oh, here we go. Little midges are coming off. Okay, I might have to change up from this hopper if they don't take this. Let me throw it way out there. There's a group of them right there. Oh, here comes one. Here comes one. He's coming to look. He's coming to look. He says nope. He says nope. Oh, you know what they're eating? They're eating chironomids that are just coming off the surface. So I just caught one. I just caught a little midge on my, so I need to just put a dropper on there and let him eat it. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. Oh gosh, finally. So I didn't get the take. I didn't get the take on the video, but it took a buzzer. Took a black buzzer underneath this hopper, and I was just using like a hopper dropper type situation. And that is a decent cutthroat trout. Oh. Took a black buzzer. That was nice. Looks like a hen. Oh my goodness. Oh, she's cool. I can coax her in. This might be the biggest cutthroat I've caught this year. She's heavy. Got her on 6X. Let's see. Almost spook her out. Holy cow. Yep, she's a giant. Holy cow. That's a big trout. Come on, sweetheart. Right over here. Gotcha. Holy cow. Holy smokes. Look at that. Wow. Shoot. Yep, that is the biggest cutthroat I've caught this season in an alpine lake anyway. Oh my goodness. She took that buzzer. Little black buzzer, turns out. Holy cow. No, she already threw it. Good. Holy smokes. That is a giant trout right there. That just fills the net. She is pretty cool. Huh. Real light colored. Her pigmentation super light. All right. I won't yank her out of there, but just to show you how big she is. Look at that. She is just massive. All right, let's get her going. There she goes. Well, what I thought was going to be a stellar day hasn't been productive at all. I have filled the patch on my chest rig with flies I've tried. I've done subsurface, top water. Just these fish are just, I don't know, there's just so much food in the water, but I have tried nearly everything. I've tried nearly everything to get something to take, and it is just, I have not had another bite since that big one that I caught when I first got here. I've had no other takes. So I'm just kind of playing around with a dry fly at this point, because I did see a couple surface hits, but it's hard to see in the video, but there's food all over the surface right now, and they're just kind of trolling and doing nothing. I'm not even seeing I'm not even seeing their mouths, flash under the water like they're eating. I don't know what they're doing, but the Nemesis Lake has struck again. So, but yeah, there's still, I mean, just fish trolling in here all over the place, and there's probably a core you know, 7, 8 fish that are real nice, you know, over 18 inches swimming around in here, but they just do not want to eat anything I'm throwing. So there you go. Well, the evening is upon us, and those fish did not want to cooperate, despite throwing everything I had at them. And I even shamed myself by throwing a squirmy worm. And I said, Tim, how dare you? You have more dignity than that. And they rejected it. So now I think I might just visit those fish I saw while I was coming in at that spillover pond. And I'm just gonna throw a dry at them. I'm not gonna go crazy. If I can see one and get a good cast to them, I will do it. Otherwise, I'll head down, because it is starting to get chilly, I'm not gonna lie. Well, nothing hitting the surface. I'm not seeing anything trawling. Those couple fish I saw this morning are either bedded down somewhere. Nah, that looks pretty juicy over there. They should have gone over there. Oh well. Yeah. All right, I think I'm gonna head down and see if I can catch some brook trout, so I can at least put something else on the board other than that one cutthroat. Even though it was great, it was a fantastic cutthroat, my best alpine cutthroat of the year, so grateful for that. But I would like to get a little brook trout, so here we go. Oh, he's coming for it. He's coming up. Yeah, nice. All right, finally a fish. All right. Nice. Look at that guy. Well, that was a great day. I know I only ended up with one trout in the net, but boy, she was big. And I was on that lake all day, and there were a few other people that showed up, and nobody put one in the net. So I am super grateful that she decided to take that chironomid. But yeah, life is good, I'm not gonna lie. Pretty happy, pretty freaking happy right now. I'm just lost. Where'd the trail go? Well, it's back here, so I'm gonna double back. Here we go.